Hey guys, what's going on? I am Hunter Starcraft, casting another Korean pro match for you guys. This is going to be a match on Naga Caverns. Now before we get into anything else, we got to introduce the players here. Spawning down at the bottom left position, this particular map, we have FairyMvP, same clan as the player Effort I casted in my last game. So MVP is the clan, Fairy is the player, he's going to be that blue Zerg player, and then over here, at the top right, we have a red Terran player, RainBOwRAZER. Razor is the clan. Rainbow is this guy's ID, so I am going to be referring to him as such. This is Naga Caverns, as I mentioned just a moment ago. A very balanced map, a map that's been around since the retail. So, yeah, it's got quite a long life at this point. We see lots of maps come and go, lots of maps not being used as much in tournaments. You see the extractor trick just there. It allows, you see in the top right there, 11/10 supply. So it just allows a Zerg player to get an extra drone out a little bit quickly. So it gives you an income boost in the short run and actually a slight income, I don't know, deficit, for lack of a better word, in the long run. We see that Rainbow is walling off at the top of his ramp with putting a barracks down with his supply depot. Not scouting just yet. He's probably going to use this SCV after the barracks is done to do some scouting. We see a 15 pool go down. So this is a very safe opening. Not getting a hatchery too quickly. It's quite foolish to go hatchery first on Naga Caverns just because the expansion is so wide open. See the first refinery now finishing up from Rainbow. And Fairy's base, he's getting his initial extractor as well. The extractor is going to complete just a little bit sooner than the spawning pool. They'll both pop at about the same time. And we're going to see Fairy mine 100 gas so that he can get Zergling speed. We do have an SCV scout heading out as well. He is going to see the hatchery. He's going to see the timing of this natural expansion for Fairy. And I'm wondering how exactly Rainbow's going to react to that kind of information. It's to be expected at this point. I mean, you don't see very many one-base Zerg builds in ZvT. You almost see that never, so it's understandable that he's got this hatchery. Oh, and some quick links popping out here. Gonna chase this SCV all the way home. Now, Zerglings just have a slightly faster move speed than SCVs. And I'm wondering if that SCV is going to get taken out. We're going to have to wait and see. Reactor going on the barracks. A factory on the way as well. Metabolic boost just started. A queen is about to pop out. And the natural expansion is nearly complete as well. These 3 Marines heading out, going to fend off those 5 Zerglings. The 6th Zergling just hanging out at the Naga watchtower in the middle of the map. Now that Queenie is out, we're staying on top of her larva injects. Pumping out just a couple drones. Be interested to see the worker count in just a moment. Ooh, command center. This CC going down at the top of the ramp. Now I'm wondering, with taking a look at the vision of Fairy, okay, so Fairy has spotted the command center, a very important piece of intel. I'm wondering if it would have been in... I'm wondering if it would have been worth it to Rainbow to actually build that command center more in the center of his base, so as to not be in range of vision when Zerglings get to the top of the ramp. The Zergling speed now nearly complete. Spine crawler as well going up at the natural expansion. So starport on the way in the Terran base as well. The harvester count just about dead even, 22-21. 3 more drones popping out though. We have a Terran player here who's now switching into Hellions. He has his reactor on his factory. He is moving the starport onto the tech lab. And with 2 more Hellions popping out right now, I'm sure that we're going to see Rainbow moving out shortly. Fairy here connecting his 2 bases with creep. Really like to see that. Now these Hellions on their way out, just heading to the middle of the map, going to roast up the Zergling at the Naga watchtower there and head down for some harassment. We have Cloak Banshees on the way as well. It's a very costly investment here in the early game. Quite an interesting opening. reactored Hellions into cloaked Banshees. Those Hellions did not want to be in that engagement at all. Hellions pretty awful against 2 Queens and especially a Spine there. And look at that. Great timing here from Fairy. He sees, okay, you're going Blue Flame he says you're going, you know, reactored Hellions. He sees, oh, your Hellions aren't doing anything. I'm going to put down 8 drones. And that's what we just saw a moment ago. And he's still putting more drones up on the production tab. So we're going to have a nice income boost in a minute or two for FairyMvP. And look at this Overlord here. This Overlord spots the Banshee. At the same time, we do have some Hellions running into the main. These Hellions, though, getting surrounded by Zerglings. Oh, those Zerglings a little bit indecisive. A few more Zerglings are getting killed than, you know, what would have really been necessary. This final Hellion getting surrounded and picked off in the corner, and now we have some Banshee harassment. This Banshee here starting off just a couple kills so far. We do have a Queen, though, and the Queen is going to force that Banshee back. Overseer morphing in as well. 5 Marines on the production tab, pumping out, yeah, ton of anti-air off of. I'm wondering how many barracks he actually has down. I believe it's either 2 or no, actually it must be more than 2. It's probably 3, but I didn't get a shot of it a moment ago. 5 kills now on this Banshee, this Corporal. Second Banshee reinforcing as well. Evo Chamber and Spire on the way, and there you go. Okay, 4 barracks. 2 of the barracks naked, 1 reactored barracks, 1 tech lab barracks, 1 tech lab starport, and there's a reactor on that, or there's a tech lab rather on the factory. This Banshee doing more and more damage, putting up 4 kills now, but the Overseer is, you know, in vision range. He's got a couple of Queens below him. Queens in the main, but no more detection in the main. Evo Chamber's done. Ooh, and look at this. Great scouting information from this Banshee as well. He sees the Baneling Nest. He sees the Spire. So I really am liking Rainbow's chances at this point. He has all that vital scouting. He knows the exact tech path at this stage for the Zerg player. Ooh, that Banshee does get taken out. Just a little bit sloppy there. And now, back in the Terran base, we see actually switching over to Medivacs. Interesting sort of, well, I can't say it's an interesting unit composition. Lots of Terran players like to go Marine Tank in Terran versus Zerg. It was an interesting opener, though. That failed Hellion into Cloaked Banshees. Cloaked Banshees did quite a bit of damage. This one's got 5 kills. I believe his long-lost brother had about the same number of kills, so pretty justified there. Lots of mining time disrupted with the workers killed. So we see 51 drones to 41 SCVs. 5 Mutalisks now on the map, just popping out right this second. I'm wondering how many Mutas Fairy's going to wait for before moving out. We do have some scouting just going on here in the middle of the map. That Overlord keeping an eye on what's going on, sees the Banshee, and is this the response? Is he going to use these Mutas to take out the Banshee? No, he's actually heading straight to Rainbow's base. Fairy's going to do as much damage as he can. He's going to have about 9 or 10 Mutas doing harassment there. And let's see what the Mutas focus down. A couple shots off on the tech lab, then moving straight to the mineral line. Now, I'm surprised actually that Rainbow is quite so late with the turrets, just because he scouted this Spire so long ago, but hold that thought, because we got a big engagement here. These Marines stimming in, rushing in, they focus down the, oh man, they're taking out Overlords, they focus down the Spore Crawler, these siege tanks taking up on the low ground, easily within range of the hatchery. These Mutas are forced all the way home. These Marines just doing a ton of damage, giant DPS. We're trying to get a shot with all attacking units on the screen. These Mutas coming back, it's going to force the Marines to stay a little closer, and these, oh, those Banelings, they got some nice splash off on the frontal Marines. These Marines, though, still being pretty cost effective. It would have been nice if those Marines could have stayed clumped together. You see all the Marines that are attacking the main hatchery. If all those Marines that were just like on the screen in this section here, if they all stuck together, they would have wiped out all those Mutalisks, I do think. But it wasn't the case, and one medevac gets taken out there, and this second medevac is going to go down. This Banshee's still hanging out with 14 hit points. And I don't know. Let's take a look at some stats here. We got 86 supply compared to 79 with the Zerg player in the lead. Fairy's got that slight advantage there, but it's 2 base versus 2 base, which is certainly not where Fairy wants to be. Would like to see him take another base shortly. A scan goes down. A couple more Mutalisks popping up, finally getting on top of his upgrades, even though Fairy has had his evolution chamber for some time now. Destructible Rock's about 75% dead. Lots of attacking units popping up for the Zerg player. The command center is now complete. He's going to plop that down at the gold base, and I would certainly expect him to put down a planetary fortress. You just see that about 99 times out of 100 in ZvT, or sorry, TVZ on this map. Getting flyer attack upgrade as well. And finally putting down the 3rd base for Fairy. He is picking up that sort of basin expansion. I usually call it that because it is on the low ground. And it's, yeah, completely surrounded by a ledge, so kind of easily droppable. Now, we do have these 8 mutas here. They focus down the reactor. The reactor does get taken out. Ooh, I don't think... No mutas got taken out. They did take some damage. We do have 1 muta there with probably like 5 hit points. 3 more mutas popping out now. Terran player getting his upgrades as well.
Gangway coming through.
Good map control. Well, actually, it's pretty even map control, I have to say, at this point. 1 Naga Watchtower apiece. Zerg player Fairy picking up a 9 o'clock base. We do have a planetary fortress morphing in as well. 1-1 on the way for Terran infantry. We do have some upgrades for the Zerg player as well. He's getting Burrow. Both players just sort of macroing up here. The Terran player has caught up. RainBOW here at 133 over 130, so slight supply advantage here as these production facilities really start kicking in. Pretty fortified position near the gold base as well. Oh, I just seen on the minimap we do have these Mutalisks sort of poking and prodding just a little bit. Ton of mutas now. We'll get a count on those mutas in just a second. We've got 13 just on the screen right now. We got 3 more mutas popping out as well. Let's see what kind of damage they can do as they are... No, maybe they're not going to try to attack the gold. He sees the turrets there. It's a lot of Marines to back up those turrets as well. So maybe Fairy just waiting a little bit too long. You have to be a bit more constant with your Mutalisk harassment because let's face it, there's always, you know, an opening, a chink in the armor where you could exploit with such fast units like the Mutalisks. Not really ideal there. You're not going to be cost effective. Very well, I mean, he was able to snipe 1 tank, just taking a little bit of damage versus the Marines. These mutas, oh man, poor Marine. He gets hit with about 17 glaives at once. That's no good. +2 flyer attack on the way, +2 melee attack on the way as well for the Zerg player. Another scan goes down. Another couple of scans though. Sees all the creep tumors, but I'm not exactly sure if that was worth 2 scans. These mutas now just lining up behind the gold base of RainBOW. Focus down 1 turret and take out a few SCVs before backing off. Again, it's hard to tell where you want to commit with, you know, fragile units with the mutas, like the mutas. Another turret gets focused down as well. 8 Banelings morphing in, just a couple more mutas. And uh-oh, look at this. RainBOW here thinks he's found a timing that is so many Marines. Oh man. Unbelievable amount of Terran fodder here in the middle of the map. Or are the Mutalisks going to become fodder? As we're going for some extra fancy camera angles, trying to get the Zerg army and Terran army on the screen at the same time. A little easier said than done. At the same time, we got a counter attack, or like a dual-pronged attack. And here we go. This is a giant engagement, guys. Oh, even with that many Banelings, there are still too many Marines on the field. The Mutalisks are forced back. I guess we would have to critique that kind of engagement from our Zerg player, Fairy. Fairy also doesn't have very much or anything to defend over here. Looks like all these drones just about are going to die or, you know, be forced to flee. This hatchery is going to get taken out as well. These mutas taking out another tank, finding, you know, an opening where the Marines are not. Hatchery gets taken out. And it looks like we may see a last stand here from Fairy any minute. He knows he can't stay on 3 base versus 3 base for long. Terran player will just continue to rally in reinforcements. It's not going to be a good thing. We got Terran player on creep here. All the speedlings lead the way. We got some straggling banelings as well. Those banelings don't connect with Marines though. And with this many Marines on the field, more Marines reinforcing from the right flank, these Mutalisks are forced back down to the natural. More banelings morphing in. Maybe he should be waiting for those banelings to complete before trying to engage these Marines once again. Marines now streaming down to the basin expansion. All these Marines going down to Stib Marines. This basin expansion is going to get taken out as well. And Fairy is forced to call GG. I really liked RainBOW's defending in this particular game. He is very aware and very quick to react to the kind of Mutalisk harassment. He had good positioning with his units, especially his Marines. And then he just had an absurdly strong timing. Like, did you see that army move out? There were, God, something like 60 Marines? 70 Marines, maybe? Unbelievable amount. And, yeah, it was just too much for Fairy. Anyways, an interesting Korean matchup. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more of my games. I've got them all up. YouTube.com/HunterStarcraft is my archive of videos, so go check those out if you're interested. And until next time, take care. Peace out.